Welcome, pre-algebra students, to another episode of Mr. Chow Time. Today, we're talking about proportional or solving proportions. Lesson 7, page 218. First vocabulary word, proportion. We've been talking about proportional relationships. So we just take the AL off of proportional and we get proportion. And a proportion is an equation. An equation, remember, is a math sentence where there's something on one side of an equal sign and the other side of an equal sign, right? So 1 equals 1, that's an equation. And so a proportion, actually this is a proportion, right? Because this is the same thing as 1 over 1 equals 1 over 1. So like 1 over 2 equals 2 over 4. This is a proportion. Cross products is when we multiply the numerator and the opposing denominator in an equation. So for example, if we multiply the numerator and the denominator that are on the opposite side of an equal sign, then that equals 4. And if we multiply these two, that also equals 4. And 4 equals 4. That's the cross products. So when we're solving proportions, if I have a proportion like this and I want to find out what this number is, then I can use cross products, right? So for example, 90 times B is 90B. And 66 times 15 is some number. 66 times 15 is 990. And to solve this, we just need to isolate B, solve for B. So that means to get B by itself, right? This is 90 times B. And so we want to get rid of the 90 times. So we would divide by 90. And then these two things cancel out. Remember, when a number is touching a letter, it means to multiply those two things. So we would divide the other side by 90 also, which is 99 divided by 9. 99 divided by 9 is 11. So B equals 11. So let's try that one more time, but with some decimals also. So 9 times n is 9n, and 36 times 3.2 is 115.2. So 115.2 equals 9n. So to get rid of the 9, that's times 9. To do the opposite of that is to divide by 9, right? And so we're going to divide by 9 on both sides. And that's going to give us 12.8. So to make these two proportional relationships true, what over 15 is equal to 66 over 90? Well, 11 over 15. And on this side, 12.8 over 36. Your turn. All right, here we go. The first one is going to be 28 equals 20x. Divide both sides by 20, and you get 14 over 10, which is 7 over 5. 7 over 5. And then here we have, 50 times 6.8 is 340 equals 34t. Divide both sides by 34, and that gives us 10 equals t. Last one. 51m equals 8.5 times 42 is 357. Divide both sides by 51. And that equals 7. Okay. So let's look at a real life example of this. The wait time to buy the newest model of Jordans is 20 minutes when there's 160 people in line. 20 minutes for every 160 people. At this rate, how long is the wait time when there are 220 people? What is the wait time? So here's our equation that we can solve. And so this would be 4,400 equals 160W. We would divide both sides by 160. 4,400 divided by 160 is 27.5. So what does that mean, 27.5? Can there be 27.5 people waiting in line? Or minutes? Top is minutes, right? Yeah, 27.5 minutes. We can wait that long. So how long is the wait time? 27.5 minutes. Remember, whenever we're solving a word problem, that we need to use the correct units. Your turn. Veronica is wrapping gifts for her classmates. So nice. She can wrap 8 gifts with 240 toys. How many gifts can she wrap with 500 toys? This should say toys. Sorry. All right, welcome back. 8 gifts for every 240 toys. How many gifts for 500 toys? Well, this is 4,000 equals 240G. That's a 4. So 4,000 divided by 240 is 16. Oops. 16.6 repeating gifts. So because she cannot wrap that last gift, this is going to be 16 gifts that she can wrap with 500 toys. Using the constant of proportionality, you can also solve problems using the proportional relationship by first finding the constant of proportionality. So we already did something similar to this a couple of lessons ago, but let's do it again with some word problems. Mr. Chow paid $300 for 4 students to compete in a paintball tournament. Write an equation and use it to solve for 20 students at the same rate. So $300 for 4 students equals our constant of proportionality, right? And so that would be divided by 2 is 150, and then divided by 2 again is 75, right? So 75 equals K. So if we're going to write an equation to solve for 20 students, we would need to know if it's $75 for each student, then what number of so this is total cost, and this is number of students, and K then is cost per student, right? So our total cost is going to equal 75 times the number of students. So this is our equation that we wrote using the constant of proportionality. So then you're going to use it to solve for 20 students. So then we'll take 20 is equal to S. And so we'll plug that into here, and we'll get 75 times 20 equals T. And what is that? 1,500? 1,500 equals T. That's cheap. I would pay that. Your turn. Let's say that Leslie paid $3,460 for 4 gourmet handmade pizzas from a famous Italian pizza chef. And Italian should be capitalized. How much would it cost for 7 pizzas? So, the cost $34.60 for 4 pizzas. $34.60 divided by 4 is $8.65 per pizza. So again, we have total cost, and we have number of pizzas, and when we have cost per pizza, so our total cost will equal 865 times the number of pizzas. So how much would it cost for 7 pizzas? Here what we're saying is that 7 equals P in our equation. So 865 times 7 equals T. 865 times 7 is $6,055. How much would it cost for 7 pizzas? $6,055 for 7 pizzas. Leslie, go ahead and bring me one of those pizzas. I would appreciate it. One more your turn. London paid $20,250 for a group of 9 enemies to attend the Squid Games. $20,250 for 9 enemies. So how much is that per enemy, for one enemy? 20,250 divided by 9 is a mere $2,250. So again, we have total cost, and we have total number of enemies, and then this is cost per enemy. So cost per enemy equals 2,250 times the number of enemies. And actually, we shouldn't be using the letter E, because the letter E is a special letter in math that you'll learn about some other time. So I guess we'll just use S for squid. Okay. How much would it cost if 4 more enemies wanted to join the group? Well, that would be 9 plus 4 equals S, right? So 13 equals S. So we have 2,250 times 13 equals T. And how much would that be? Well, only $29,250 for 13 enemies. Honestly, a good deal. London, I know you know a good deal when you see one. All right. Have a good night.